विनाशन हारी गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय मोदक दीत दीत जननी जब तुमक झलक नूपुर झलका वे मोदक दीत दीत जननी जब तुमक झलक नूपुर झलकारी रिधि सीधी दो चवर दुलावत रिधि सीधी दो चवर दुलावत सुर समूह लखी होत सुखाणी गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हारी गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हारी गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणेश जय गणपति जय जय
प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय. As we approach the period of Navratri, which will begin in April, we join together now in rendering the verses of Durga Chalisa, and we invite everyone to join together as we offer praise to the Divine Mother.
जय श्री दुर्गाम्बिका जगत पालिनी मात तुमरो चालीसा रचो की जय मोहि सनात नमो नमो दुर्गे सुख करणी नमो नमो अम्बे दुख हरिणी निरंकार है ज्योति तुम्हारी तीनों लोक फैली उजियारी चंद्र ललाट मुख महाविशाला नेत्र लाल भृकुति विकराला रूप मात को अधिक सुहावे दर्श करत जन अति सुख पावे जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे तुम संसार शक्ति लय कीना पालन हेतु अन धन दीना अन्नपूर्णा हुई जगपाला तुम हो आदि सुंदरी बाला प्रलय काल सब नाशन हारी तुम गौरी शिव शंकर प्यारी शिव योगी तुम्हारे गुण गावे ब्रह्मा विष्णु तुम्हें नित ध्यावे जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे सरस्वती का तुम धारा दे सुबुद्धि ऋषि मुनि न उबारा धरो रूप नरसिंह का अम्बा प्रगट भये आदेखे खम्बा रक्षा कर प्रहलाद बचायो हिरण्याकश को स्वर्ग पधायो लक्ष्मी रूप धारो जग माही श्री नारायण अंग समाही जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे निवारण जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे हरि वाहन सोहे भवानी लांगुर वीर झलक अगवानी कर में खप्पर खड्ग विराजे लाखो देख काल दरबाजे सोहे यार आश्र त्रिशूला जाते उतत शत्रु ही असूला नवड़ पोती में तुम ही विराजत तीनों लोक मृदंगा बाजत जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे शुंभनि शुंभ दानव तुम मारे रक्त बीज संघन संहारे महिषासुर नृपति अभिमानी जही अधबार मही अकुलानी रूप करा काली को धारा सेन सहित तुम तेहि संहारा बड़ी काट संतन पर जब जब भय साहे मातु तुम तब तब जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे अमर पुरी आवा सब लोका सब महिमा सब कहे अशोका ज्वाला में है ज्योति तुम्हारी तुम ही सदा पूजत नर नारी प्रेम भक्ति से जो यस पावे दुखदारे निकट नहीं आवे ध्यावे तुम जो नर मन लाई जन्म मरण ते सो छुट जाई जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे योगी सुर मुनि कहत पुकारी योग न होई बिन शक्ति तुम्हारी शंकर आचार्य तब कीनो काम क्रोध जीते सब लीनो निश दिन ध्यान धरत शंकर को आहु गाल नहीं सुमिरो तुमको शक्ति रूप को मर मन पायो शक्ति गए तब मन पछतायो जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे शरणागत हुई कीर्ति बखारी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी भये प्रसन्नादि जगदम्बा दय शक्ति नहीं न विलम्बा गो मात कष्ट अधिघेरो तुम बिन कौन हरे दुख मेरो आशा कृष्णा निपत सतावे विभु मूरत मोहि अति धर पावे जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे शत्रुनाश की जय महारानी सुमिरो एक चित्त तुम ही भवानी करो कृपा हे मातु दयाला वेदी सेति दे करहु निहाला जब लग जियो दया फल पाओ तुमरो यश में सदा सुनाओ दुर्गा चालीसा जो गावे सब सुख भोग परम पर पावे देवी दास शरणानिज जानी करहु कृपा जगदम्ब भवानी जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मैया जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
So, I will speak up as best as I can. Here we go. As we begin preparing for the Navaratri period, which ends on the Navami day with Shri Ram's birthday, Shri Ram Janam, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Prem Sursiyapati Ramchandra Bhagwan Ki Jai. So as we prepare that for that time which comes up, today Holika Dahan, is it Panditji? Tomorrow. And then we enter into the Karmas period when new endeavors are not undertaken, and then we get into Navaratri, the new year. And as we've discussed before, that is a time of fasting and of praying, and I've spoken about that previously as well. So today, let us continue with singing the Rama and Sumiran, so that when it comes to that time when we celebrate his birthday, we would all be familiar, we'll be able to sing together and join together. Now, does anybody need copies of the Chaupais? Professor G, I'll give you a copy. जो सुमिरत सिद्ध हो गणनायक करिवर वदन करौ अनुग्रह सो बुद्धि राशि शुभ गुण सदना मूक होई वाचा पंगु चढ़य देवर गमना जासु कृपा सुदया प्रभु सकल कलिमल दहना करुण अरुण वाणी जनयना करो मम सदा क्षीर सागर शयना भुंग इंदु सहजे कुमार मन करुणायना चाहि दीन बरदे करहु कृपा मर्दन भयना वंदो गुरु पद कृपा सिंधु रूप हरि महामोह
तीरथ सिद्धि हो गणनायक
प्रेम सो सियापति रामचंद्र की जय. Today I would just like to spend a few moments in meditation. But that meditation is on a set of chaupais that we have done before. And if you have your copies with you, I would ask you to turn to ones that we have done before. And in the center part, from Balkand, Doha number 2.3, Binu satasanga vivekana hoi Rama kripa binu sulabhana soi. And this is the exercise I would like you to engage in, each and every one of us. Everybody. Isha Beti, everybody. This is the exercise, and I want us to listen to it very carefully. We understand and we remember what it means. Binu satasanga vivekana hoi. If we don't have good company, then we would not get the power of discrimination. And we cannot get that company, Rama kripa binu sulabhana soi. Without the grace of God, that is not something that we will achieve. So I want us today to close our eyes, and I want us to think of the persons who are in our circle, who qualify as satsang, as people who are good people in our lives, people who we are proud to know are good people in our lives, people who inspire us to want us to make us better, people who are there touching us, whether it is once a week, once a month, once a year, or every day. People who are making a difference in our life and taking us, Rama Kripa, with the grace of God, and helping us to keep on a good path. And I want us to also picture those people in our lives who are not satsang, who are not good company. And I want us to, in our mind, make that conscious effort to separate ourselves from those persons and those influences. And as we push them away in our mind, we keep together with us at all times those who are good, those who will help us to become better people. Binu satsang vivek na hoi, Rama kripa binu sulabhana soi. Take for a moment, think of those words, Binu satsanga viveka na hoi. Think of those asat persons who are around us and push them away. Binu satsanga viveka na hoi. And now think of those who are good in our life, those who we like having around us, those who make us happy, those who lead us to God. Rama kripa binu sulabhana soi. And let us focus. Binu satsanga viveka na hoi, Rama kripa binu Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Binu satsang
Vivek न होई,
Ram kripa binu
सुलभ न सोई.
Mangal bhavan amangal hari. Mangal amangal hari. Dravahu so Dasharath achar vihari. Dravahu so
दशरथ अजिर
प्रभु।
विहारी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Think of the good around us. Binu satsang,
Vivek न होई,
whose blessing? Ram kripa binu
सुलभ न सोई.
Ram kripa binu
सुलभ न सोई.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram,
जय जय रामा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya
रामा.
Jaya Jaya Rama.
जय जय रामा.
Prem Solo Siyapati Ramchandra ki Jai. Keep our eyes closed for a moment. Make that conscious effort to separate Sat from Asat, good from bad, good company from bad company. Make that effort in our minds now. Picture those who you want to be with, and picture those that you do not want to be with. And ask God, Ram Kripa Vinu Sulabhana Soi. Bhagwan, please help me keep this sankalp to be with good company. Please help me to be at your side, and please help me to recognize the company which is going to reach me closer and closer to you. Prem se bolo Siyapati Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. As we open our eyes, I want us to take a mental note of those persons whom you have accepted in your mind to be Binu Sata Sangha Vivekana Hoi, without whom your life would be incomplete and not truthful and not good. And reach out to that person today and tell them that you appreciate them in your life. Because it is a good thing for you to recognize good people. And it is a good thing for you to recognize good influences in your life. And it is a good thing to say good things about good people. Prem se bolo Siyapati Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. I will now hand over, Panditji.
Thank you very much, Panditji. And this morning, I want to now introduce to the podium a very vibrant and youthful member of our Mandir who has literally grown up here, who will be introducing our guest speaker. So please welcome to the podium for the introduction, Kumari Vasudha Maharaj. Please give her a round of applause.
Sitaram, everyone. Today we have a very special guest speaker today, Professor Chandraban Sharma. You probably don't know this, but your brother, Dr. Prakash Ban, delivered me, which means that we have a very close relationship. So, Professor Sharma, an A-level open textile scholar, obtained his BSc in electrical engineering with the telecommunications option in 1979 from UWI. He was subsequently awarded a UWI scholarship to read for a MSc in Power Systems, after which he joined the NEC as the ENI engineer. Professor Sharma has served on several boards of directors in Trinidad, including ISCOT, PowerGen, and TNTech. He was the chairman of National Infrastructure Development Company Limited, which had the responsibility for the rapid rail, water taxi, and improvements on the national highways. He also served as an independent director of Republic Bank for 19 years, resigning in March 2016. He is currently a member of the boards of directors of Trinidad Concrete Products, Caribbean Hydrosource, and chairman of the board TOSL Engineering Limited. He is the leader of the Energy Systems Program in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, UWI. Recently, he was appointed as the Deputy Chairman and Technical Lead of the Cabinet Standing Committee on Renewable Energy, with particular focus on wind energy for Trinidad and Tobago. Please join me in welcoming Professor Chandraban Sharma.
Thank you very much. Sitaram, everyone. And thank you for coming here, although you heard my name. All right? Before I start, like a teacher that I am, and you can't get that out from me, I was looking at the Chaupais there. Binu Satasanga Vivekana Hoi, Rama Kripa, Binu Sulabana Soi. Satasanga Muda Mangala Moha, Soi Palisidi, Sabasada Namula. Don't forget those last two lines. And remember, it's Chaupai. If you only put two lines, it's not a Chaupai. Right? So just to make a little correction on that, right? So with that, I was asked to come and give a discussion on renewable energy and how we can contribute to the preservation of Dharti Mata. Now, one of the things that we take for granted is the fact that, one, Sanatan Dharma is the oldest practicing religion in the world that has been taking care of the environment from day one. That's the first thing we seem to forget. The second thing we seem to forget is that Hinduism, that word, has nothing to do with India. It was coined by the Greeks when they saw this group of people who were living on the delta bank of the Sindhu River. And the Sindhu River had four tributaries, so there were 5 rivers. I know it's not the 5 religious rivers. But one of the issues that Greek has is that they were unable, there's no consonant in Greek for sa. So they started to call it Hindu people, Hindu. So the people who live in that area was called Hindu. And then the Romans took over and they added an H to that, to Hindu. So these people were called Hindus. But nowhere in your scripture you will find that word. It doesn't exist. But it works for the West because if I can segregate these people as Hindus and Sikhs and Persians and whatever, I can now get a smaller number of people along the belief. Many of you don't even realize that Buddhism, its main tenets are part of Vedanta. It all came from that. Yeah, so you have to understand it's Sanatan Dharma. Now, Sanatan Dharma is very wide and it has been looking after the environment from the beginning. This phrase, which is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, has been made popular by Prime Minister Modi this year with his world leaders, but it's only the last two words in Doha taken from the Maha Upanishad, where in the beginning, what the Doha is really saying that unwise people see possession. They say, this is mine, that is mine, this is mine, that. But wise people see everything as belonging to Mother Earth. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It is what? Sara Vidya Vishwa Ek Parivar Hai. Everybody is one family. And therefore, just like you treat your mother, so too you should treat Earth and whatever Earth has given you. Now, I would just like to start it off by this particular slok, Mata Bhumihi Putro Aham Pavitryaha. Meaning, Earth is my mother, I am the son of the Earth. We are all siblings or outputs of the Earth. The Earth keeps us all together. And therefore, if we don't preserve the Earth, we're actually killing ourselves. So let's look at what is happening to the Earth. What I've had here is a graphical representation of the temperatures of the Earth from 1880, which was called the pre-industrial time, to current temperature levels. It's called pre-industrial because during that period of time, which is up to about 1900, we had no real major equipment. Fossil fuels were not really found yet. Everything was driven by coal. We had no equipment, so we are all agrarian society. And all of a sudden, we found someone developed the steam engine, which ran on coal. And out of that, industrialization started. So what they did now is that they say, okay, let's put a baseline for 1951 to 1980 and average that and put that as our reference, which is that line you see there, it says 0. And that's our reference. And it says before this period of time when we take off industrialization, the Earth's temperature remained fairly constant. And then after this period of time, it just starts to escalate. And just to see where we are now, we are above 1 degree of this base level. And what is causing that? If you look at the lines carefully, you will see that around 1900 in the thing there, you would see around 1900, things started to climb here. And that really is when the steam engine was founded. Then that brings on some industrialization. Then 1959 to 1921, World War I, where a lot of fossil fuel was started to use. We had the SI engine and the CI engines were developed, which all required oil. And they were all used a lot in World War I. And the same thing happened in the 40s, World War II. Again, massive use of fossil fuels. Aircraft was used a lot, which utilized a lot of fossil fuel. And you saw the temperature started to rise. And you see it fell after every war because you had recessions after every war. So everything went down, so you see the temperature went down because of that. And then it starts to pick up as you came out of recession. And then post-World War II, everything just went haywire. Everybody wanted to be industrialized. And this is what you're seeing with all these going up here. Now let's look at the days now where we have a record of all the temperature for all the days that we've ever had since 1850. And we utilize the average between 1850 to 1900 as being our zero temperature, which is normal. And what we are trying to do is to bring back or to keep the temperature along that 0 degrees normal. And what we have shown here in the red line is that for about 90 days last year, we have exceeded 1.5 degrees already, which is really the set point that scientists have put for not ensuring or not triggering a catastrophe in terms of temperature profiles. We look at the sea temperatures, and the same thing has happened with the sea temperatures. The sea temperatures have become higher than what they normally used to be. And why you want to know about the sea? The sea has a controlling effect on temperature. That's why places which are close to the sea don't feel a large variation in temperature, because the sea is a very high heat sink. It remains constant. The temperature in the sea remains constant. So anytime you feel the sea temperature is too hot or too cold, it's really your body. It doesn't change much, plus or minus 2 degrees, because it's a heat sink. And once you see the temperature of the sea changing, then you know the temperature on the earth is going to change. The effect you are going to see is things like corals are going to die. You're going to see all the animals in the sea are going to die, fish are going to die. They're going to move away to colder region, things like that. Now, people used to say, well, anthropogenic heating of the earth. Anthropogenic is a big word, which just means anthropos is Greek for human, and genic means generated by human people, genesis. So activities which were created by human activity. Now, one of the things that maybe you don't know is that our sun goes through an 11-year cycle. Every 11 years, there's sunspot activities. So it works just like an AC signal. Every 11 years, if you look at the signal, which is the light yellow curve, the light yellow one, every 11 years, it goes high and then drops down back. And then it comes back up high again, goes down to a lower level and comes down. Now, what is happening here, every 11 years, the polarity of the sun changes. It means, like on Earth, where the North Pole was, becomes a South Pole. It is that change that occurs on the sun that creates all your sunspot activities and causes localized heating on Earth. And it causes a lot of radiation. Now, they used to think that that was the reason why we are getting temperature changes on the Earth. But when you graph that out there, and you graph out the average temperature, averaging it on a rolling 11-year average to eliminate the changes in the sunspot activities, you get that the temperature is still going up. It is way up here, whereas sunspot activities in terms of lumens and solar irradiance is still normal. Solar irradiance is what you are going to use when you buy a photocell and try to get electricity from the sun. That's what you're measuring, the solar irradiance. So something has happened. What has happened? Let's see. When we look at the carbon parts per million on the Earth, for centuries, millennia before, 800,000 years ago, and we track it, what we see is that the levels have been fairly normal, below 250 parts per million, up to the 1900s. And then all of a sudden, at the 1900, it started to grow. To where it is right now, it's about 430 parts per million. And the only place this carbon is coming from is man's activity. That is fossil fuels. Basically, it's fossil fuel. It's energy use. And that's why you have the drive for renewable energy these days. So, to put it in perspective, if we want to have an Earth in which we can live, remember, the Earth is going to survive. What is going to survive is man, right? And woman, right? We're not going to survive if the temperature comes too high. So the current policies we have, it tells me that's in blue. We are still going to get an increase in temperature from the norm, which is between 2.5 to 2.9 degrees. If we implement immediately all the pledges that we had made at all these COP 10 and 12 and 29 now we're on, right? We are still going to exceed the 1.5. And for us to hit the 1.5 target and below, we have to do drastic things. Now, I'm going to tell you something here. We are not going to meet the 1.5, right? No matter what they do, we are not going to meet it. We are going to exceed it. So the place is going to get hotter, right? And the place is going to get colder. There's big extremes you are going to get. But what happens now is that people feel that they can't do anything about this thing because it's a bigger issue than them. And what I'm trying to show you is that, yes, we can all do something about it if we understand the issue. If we look at Trinidad and Tobago, energy use per capita, and compare it to the other parts of the world, you will see we are greater than the United States. Energy use per capita. Now, don't get too alarmed about that. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the fact that Trinidad is a fossil fuel country. Without oil and gas, we can't go anywhere. And therefore, that big differential you're seeing there, up here, has to do with the fact that we produce oil and natural gas as our major export. And therefore, without that, we have no currency, we have no US, and that's why we are so big compared to the United States. We only have 1.4 million people, and they have 320 million people. So don't get too alarmed with that. When we look at electricity generation, now we see it becomes clearer. Trinidad is way down there with about 7,000 kilowatt hour per annum. But we are so far ahead of Jamaica, Barbados, Bahamas. We are really using a lot of electricity. And one of the main reasons for that is that, one, electricity is extremely cheap. We believe it's expensive. It is extremely cheap, right, compared to world standards. And you don't have to go to the world, just go Barbados, right? While our electricity here is about 5.5 cents US, Barbados is 30 cents. That's the big differential. Jamaica, it's about the same thing. You go to Anguilla, it is 45 cents. And because it's so cheap in Trinidad, no matter what people quarrel about, they don't conserve electricity because it's cheap, right? Now let's look at the overview of the carbon emission from Trinidad and Tobago. Now I've given a pie chart here of the carbon emissions, and what comes out from this pie chart immediately is that the carbon emissions, 80% of the carbon emissions comes from industry. So Trinidad's carbon emission is from the industries that we have. When you find people say that, okay, we should do things, it doesn't matter what we do, the industry, if we are in that particular type of climate, of an industry, it's the industry is driving it. But one of the things to note, total world emission is 45 billion tons. That's the world emission. We produce 35 million tons. For those of you who can do a little mathematics, it's 1,000, the difference. So the percentage of carbon we produce is 0.001% of the world. What it means, doesn't matter what I do. Trinidad could sink in the sea right now, and nothing happens to what the world temperature is going. So the temperature is going to go anyway. So what can I do to assist? That's really the crux of what I'm doing here. Trinidad has pledged to reduce the total carbon emission from power generation, transport, and industry by 15% by 2030, using the base year of 2013, which is equal to 103 million tons cumulative. And we do the same thing for unconditionally public transport, we reduce it. So that's what Trinidad has pledged to do. Now, one of the things to look at here, though, is look at where our per capita output is. The world's per capita output in carbon is 4 tons per annum. The United States is 16 tons per annum. Trinidad is 25 tons per annum. And that's what the World Bank uses against us all the time. Per capita, we are really bad. But in totality, we are really good, right? But we'll get your loans on per capita. So how much carbon dioxide does each person produce when they're in their activities? Carbon dioxide, you produce carbon dioxide by just breathing, eh? Because when you breathe in and you breathe out, it's carbon dioxide is coming out. But every activity that you do produces carbon dioxide. When you're cooking, it's carbon dioxide. For you to come here, you release carbon dioxide, right? When you put on the lights, it's carbon dioxide. So it's how can I reduce those activities to reduce the carbon dioxide output? And this might pay more attention for the younger people here, how you do it, because this would work into your school syllabi, how you do these things. So your carbon footprint, which is what everyone will start talking about. The whole world will start talking about carbon footprint. Your carbon footprint is all the carbon which is emitted from an individual activity, or the total carbon that is emitted from your home by all the people who live there. So that includes all your activities. electricity use, driving a car, disposing of waste, all of them cause greenhouse gas emissions. Together, when I sum those together, that gives me the household carbon footprint. So let me show you a simple calculator for Trinidad. This only works for Trinidad. Let's assume, and this is given, every kilowatt hour of electricity I use, I emit 550 grams of carbon. That's the Trinidad benchmark. For fuel, if I use gasoline, every liter of gasoline I use in my car, I emit 2.3 kilograms of carbon. Diesel is 2.7, propane for cooking. And I just use a 20-pound tank of propane. If I use 20 pounds of propane, one tank is 26.2 kilogram of carbon I've emitted. And the last one, every mile of air travel I make, I emit 170 grams of carbon per kilometer. I say mile, it's kilometer, all right? So how do I calculate it for Trinidad? Simple equation. Let's assume I have a house which uses 583 kilowatt of electricity per month. Now, your bill is every 2 months, so all you need to do is take your bill and divide it by 2. Let's assume I use $550 in gas every month, which is about 100 liters. So I'm using nice round numbers. Let's assume I use one small tank of propane every month. Now, I know most people buy food now, but let's assume you're cooking, right? Because that's what you're supposed to be doing to be healthy. Let's assume you're cooking and you're using one small tank of propane a month. That means that you are generating 26.2 kilograms every month. I sum that together by the little equation that I have there, and I very simply add this together and it says that every person is emitting 7.4 tons of carbon every year. And what I have not included here is waste. What is happening to the rubbish you throw away? What is happening to that? I have highlighted two of them, the largest two, which is 3.85 knot, which is electricity use, and 276 knot, which is transport use. Because those are the ones you control. And waste, the only thing we can do with waste right now in Trinidad is to reduce, reuse, refurbish, repair, recycle. Now, young people don't, this is a throwaway society. So nobody recycle anymore. But to really get back the earth into its form, we have to start going back to bring back the old time days, as we say. Recycle, reuse, mend, okay? Even people don't even mend their clothes now. They throw it away and buy a new one. You know what I mean? It's a throwaway society you have, and that's part of the problem you have. I mean, my wife just called me, I pick up a needle and try and start sewing up something. She said, what was it? I said, I just can't do it. I was not brought up like that. You know what I mean? I could sew, right? So let's see how you do electricity. Electricity. There are several things you can do with your electricity, and all of these will read down into cost savings. Your bills are going to reduce if you do any of these. The first thing you will do is change all your lights to LEDs. And I assume everybody did that because TNT gave you 8 bulbs free. So everybody should have gotten those 8 bulbs, right? And don't do like my father. He collected the 8 bulbs and he put it away, right? Because he said the other bulbs were okay, right? And the reason why he did that is because it's still too cheap. So he doesn't see any reason to climb up and change a bulb, right? So let's assume you change all the LEDs. Efficiency is what happens. Water heating, air conditioning, losses in your air conditioning. That's another topic. But these are things you can look at to start reducing. And everything you reduce, every efficiency you do will going to reduce your electricity bill. As a matter of fact, if I increase the temperature in my AC in my house, 1 degree, so if I have it at 20, which is extremely cold for me, right? If I have it on 20 and I put it on 21, I have reduced my energy consumption by 10%. If I reduce it to 23, about 30%, and I put a fan at the top, actually I will feel as though it's 20. Your body is a warm-bodied body. It adjusts to whatever temperature you set it at. You set your body temperature, So you can decide when I'm feeling cold and when I'm feeling hot because of how you control your breathing, right? It's you. You get acclimatized to it. And you know how you know it? You just go abroad and during the cold weather and you find it's cold there. And when they come back to Trinidad, the same air condition, you find it too hot. That's because your body has adjusted. Your body will adjust to whatever temperature you want to set it at. Now, in transport, we can start walking some more. Because in Trinidad, if you can drive your car inside the office, people will drive the car in the office. Nobody wants to walk, right? Nobody. And if they don't get a car park, they start a quarrel. Nobody wants to walk in Trinidad. But you go abroad, everybody walks, eh? And everybody rides, or they take the subway because it is too expensive to drive a car because everything is expensive. And if you have a car, it's time to start going to a hybrid or an electric vehicle because it's a lot of savings. I have an electric vehicle for 3 years now. You know what it costs me per month in electricity? It costs me $20. $20. That's the difference in cost. So what do we need to do? Take fewer flights, use less energy, improve the home installation, and that's for those of us who have air conditioning. Switch to electric vehicles if you can, or to a hybrid if you don't like it. And finally, one that will redound to you, eat less meat. Now, one of the advantages we have is that we came from a background where vegetarianism was always recommended. But one of the errors we make is we make an error saying that to be a Hindu, you have to be a vegetarian. Sorry, there is no mandate like that in any scripture. But our forefathers knew what was the issue in this. Eating meat caused a lot of problems to the environment. And if you look at what happens with just creating the animals that we eat, we're creating about 18% of the world carbon just from animal husbandry. So let's look at the cars. If I have a petrol car, right, for every kilometer that I drive in this petrol car, I am creating about 250 grams of carbon. If I have an electric vehicle, BEV means a battery electric vehicle. There are several types of electric vehicle, but this is a battery electric vehicle. The worst case, I would be about 150. Worst case means that the electricity that I'm using came from coal. I'm using coal to generate electricity. And the best case is what you're seeing there, which is 50. It means that I am using renewable energy. And notice what is common there is the amount of carbon I utilize to produce the electric vehicle. Just for the younger people here, there are several types of vehicles on the market now. You have the Teslas, which are all battery electrics. You have the Toyota Mirai, which is a fuel cell vehicle. It's a fuel cell electric vehicle. So it takes hydrogen and utilize hydrogen to produce electricity. And you take BMW, which has a hydrogen car, which just uses the same type of engine and burn hydrogens. And you will look at the efficiencies. For the same amount of energy input in the car, one gives 460 kilometers about it, which is about 7 kilometers per kilowatt hour. And you go straight to the bottom, where the hydrogen vehicle gives you less than 1 kilometer, or just 1 kilometer, or less than 1 kilometer, not long, less than 1 kilometer per kilowatt hour. So that's the difference in the technology. The straight battery electric vehicle, which is the one at the top, gives you an efficiency which is so far superior than this one here. And look, the Toyota Mirai, which is a hydrogen, and the government is going on hydrogen, and you'll hear a lot of people trying to push hydrogen as for transport. But one thing to note, hydrogen as transport has a loss of 50% immediately. So, and this is the last one that I want to look at here, and this is really the greenhouse gas emission for meat production. And watch the top. The top left-hand side there, you see beef, mutton, dairy, they're huge producers of carbon. And the reason why beef is so large, or any of those grass-eating animals, is because they have 4 stomachs for digesting the grass. And the stomachs produce methane. As a matter of fact, in New Zealand, all the dairy farmers are now taxed. It's called a flatulence tax, right? They use the shorter word for it, right? But flatulence tax, but I don't want to use it here. And the reason for that is that when the cows and the goats and the sheep, they're digesting the grass, they produce a lot of methane in belching. And that produces the high methane content. And methane is 23 times stronger than carbon dioxide as a warming gas. So that's the issue you have with methane. And you look down at the bottom with peas and so forth, nothing, right? So quickly, this is your home profile. Look at the big things: air condition, water heater, refrigerator. And for now, computers. Everybody is in a computer or some type of screen. That's where your big energy losses are. And with the big screens, just unplug them, right? Because the problem here is you have them constantly plugged on, right? So there's low impacting. The moderate impact is like, I still don't understand, I'll tell you, why people have a dryer in Trinidad, a clothes dryer. I don't understand it. And they quarrel about electricity costs, but they have a dryer. Why are you afraid to hang your clothes to dry? Now, I talked to some women, they say they're underwear. But everybody wears underwear. What are you worrying about? Everybody wears underwear. It costs a lot to have a dryer, and you're in a tropical country. You hang anything outside, at this time it's 2 hours, it dry. No electricity. Huge. Your dryer is taking about 50% of your electricity, just the dryer. And your air conditioner may be 40%, and the rest is what you're doing, right? You don't realize it. And of course, the high impact, which I don't expect you to reach yet, is renewable energy. So finally, to close here, I would like you to remember what Vidura said in the Mahabharata. Pushpam pushpam vichin vita mulacha damna karyati malakara ivanranyena yata agara karka. Meaning, one should be like the garland maker. Take the fruits and put them together. Get the fruits only. What are the products, the outputs of the wood? Do not be like a coal maker. You cut down the whole tree to make coal for your business. Take the fruits. Control your environment. Your environment is Dharti Mata. Your mother is your world, is the world. And the mother is the world to you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much, Professor Sharma. Before you take your leave, I'll invite one of our young devotees, Yogita, to make a presentation, a very small token of appreciation for your presentation this morning. So, Professor, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Sharma. Professor, I think we just want to impose on you for one moment. I don't know if anyone sitting present would have any questions. We can have 1 or 2 questions asked. If anybody would like to ask any question for Professor Sharma before we relieve him of his responsibility. No, we're all good? So we know what we need to do in terms of reducing.
Understood everything or they're totally lost?
Thank you very much. I think it's more the former than the latter. So thank you so much, Professor. And may Bhagwan continue to guide you, bless you in the wonderful work that you are doing. And I hope that the efforts, in fact, do make an impact in our little way. What we can do at home, turn off the ACs, turn off the dryers, unplug the televisions, and a lot of impact can happen there. And for those who are able to afford it, purchase electric vehicles. We go on from there. Let us now join together and engage in our arati. And we invite, I see there's a young devotee here joining us this morning to render bhajan. So I invite you now to come forward and to offer your arati to Bhagwan.
No. We have with us a relative of Mati, Shivanand Basdev, who will be doing 2 bhajans for Mati and our enjoyment. Thank you.
Sound 1, 1. 10 मास सरहे जब गर्भहिनी है, तब ही प्रभु से तुम कौन किया। मैं बाहर हो हरि भक्ति करो, तेहि कारण लोग बये दुखिया। एक आई जगत में भूल गयो, तेहि कारण लोग बये दुखिया। कभी जी हल हे मन चेत करो, भजु राम सिया तू जन्म लिया। हरि हो राम मिलन, हरि हो राम मिलन कब होय। अंदेश वाला गिरहे, हरि हो राम। हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। यार जवा में इंद्रियन पहिया, यार जवा में इंद्रियन पहिया। भजन की भोर भये, भव के पंत चले, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। हरि हो राम सिया राम मिलन कब हो, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। आहाय वेद पुराण ग्रंथ बहुरंजन, वेद पुराण ग्रंथ बहुरंजन। पाकर बांध बली, पाकर बांध बली, अंधेश वाला गिरहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो, अंधेश वाला गिरहे। पापन सीने जीवन निहिया, पापन सीने जीवन निहिया। भजन की भोर भये, भजन की भोर भये, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। हरि हो राम सिया राम मिलन कब हो, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। आहाय जागृत स्वप्न सुषुप्तितुरैया, जागृत स्वप्न सुषुप्तितुरैया। जी तो तब राम मिले, जी तो तब राम मिले, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। हरि हो राम सिया राम मिलन कब हो, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो, अंदेश वाला गिरहे। जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर, जय शिव जय शिव। जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर अजर अमर अवैर अकोचन हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर अजर अमर अवैर अकोचन हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर सिर पर गंगा गए अहिमाला हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर सिर पर गंगा गए अहिमाला हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय 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 शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर मृगमे वाला कंत काला हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर मृगमे वाला कंत काला हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय 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 आया जय शिव जय जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर कपाला कंपर वाला हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर कपाला कंपर वाला हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जिन श्री लाला परम कृपाला हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर जिन श्री लाला परम कृपाला हर शिव शंकर हर शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय 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 शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर जय शिव जय शिव जय शिव शंकर
गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला हे गिरिधर गोपाला 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 जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय गिरिधर गोपाला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला हे गिरिधर गोपाला 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 जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय गिरिधर गोपाला चित चोरा यशोदा की बात नवनीत छोड़ गोपाल चित चोरा यशोदा की बात नवनीत छोड़ गोपाल ओ चित चोरा यशोदा की बात नवनीत छोड़ गोपाल चित चोरा यशोदा की बात नवनीत छोड़ गोपाल 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 गोवर्धन धन गोपाल गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला। जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय गिरिधर गोपाला। जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय गिरिधर गोपाला। ओ चित चोरा यशोदा की बात, नवनीत चोर गोपाल। 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 गोपाल 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 गोवर्धन धन गोपाल गोपाल गोवर्धन धन गोपाल। हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला। हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला। ओ चित चोरा यशोदा की बात, नवनीत चोर गोपाल। चित चोरा यशोदा की बात, नवनीत चोर गोपाल। चित चोरा यशोदा की बात, नवनीत चोर गोपाल। चित चोरा यशोदा की बात, नवनीत चोर गोपाल।
जग जननी माम्बे भवानी,
जग जननी माम्बे भवानी,
जग जननी माम्बे भवानी,
जग जननी माम्बे भवानी।
भवभयहारिणी ब्रह्मा स्वरूपिणी,
भवभयहारिणी ब्रह्मा स्वरूपिणी,
भवभयहारिणी ब्रह्मा स्वरूपिणी,
भवभयहारिणी ब्रह्मा स्वरूपिणी।
भवभयहारिणि ब्रह्मस्वरूपिणि
भवभयहारिणि ब्रह्मस्वरूपिणि
भवभयहारिणि ब्रह्मस्वरूपिणि
भवभयहारिणि ब्रह्मस्वरूपिणि
जगजननी माम्बे भवानी
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 प्रेम से बोले आज शक्ति जगदम्बा देवी मैया की जय. We will now have our announcements.
Sitaram devotees. First of all, welcome to each and every one of you for attending our Sunday morning service. To those of you who are here for the first time, special welcome to you. And for those of you who are back from some period of absence, welcome back and hope to see you in the coming Sundays. Special happy birthday to everyone who's celebrating their birthdays this last week or this upcoming week. And those of you who are celebrating any anniversaries, I know Auntie Mati celebrated her birthday last week, so happy birthday to you. Anyone else celebrating their birthday? So anyone celebrating birthdays and anniversaries, special blessings to you. Anyone who wishes to make donations to the temple, whether it be in cash or kind, can see Uncle Gangadi or Auntie Neela in the office at back after service. And anyone wishing to perform puja on a Sunday morning can see Auntie Neela or Gangadi in the back as well. There will be yoga class tomorrow, right here in the annex at 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. So for those of you who are inclined to come out and practice some yoga, you all are all welcome to do so. There will be Gita class, not this Wednesday, but following Wednesday. So for those of you who are interested in joining the Gita class, can see Uncle Anil after service as well. There will be Chautal practice. We will be doing Chautal back again this year. We'll just be going to one venue, which will be the Palmis Park, and that's the 31st of March, right? That's Pagwa. So we do have a small Chautal practice after service. So for those of you who are interested in singing Chautal with our group, you all are free to stay back and take part in that as well. It's not limited by age, so it's not just the youths. Anyone who is invited to sing Chautal. And you don't have to know how to sing. I mean, I sing in Chautal. Special thanks to, in his absence, Professor Chandraban Sharma for that discourse this morning. I know everyone here will be hanging their clothes on the line from now on. Yeah? And there will be Noratam service coming up, which will start at the 9th of April, and we will be having our evening services every evening from the 9th of April. And Ram Navami will be the 16th of April, so just keep that in mind, the details of which will follow on. So, Sitaram, and enjoy the week ahead.
Please stand for Aarti.
ॐ जय जगदीश हरि स्वामी जय जगदीश हरि भक्त जनों की संकट दास जनों की संकट क्षण में दूर करी ॐ जय जगदीश जो ध्यावे फल पावे दुख मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण गहो किसकी, स्वामी शरण गहो किसकी, तुम बिन और न दूजा, तुम बिन और न दूजा, आश करो जिसकी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा, तुम अंतर्यामी, स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता, स्वामी तुम पालन करता, हम सेवक तुम स्वामी, हम सेवक तुम स्वामी, कृपा करो भरता। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम हो एक गोचर सबके प्राणपति, स्वामी सबके प्राणपति, किस विधि में